Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's the weekend roundup. So let's talk about a big scandal that involves cheating in one of the most popular battle royale games. Ooh, juicy. I love these stories. So Apex Legends players have been furious recently after it was revealed that two of the top players were caught basically rigging matches to keep others from joining the very top echelon of the game. It's a process known as teaming, and it's the act of basically joining forces with another squad to give yourself an advantage, because obviously you should be trying to shoot an enemy squad, not collaborate with them. Well, the Apex Legends community absolutely erupted in anger earlier this month when clips were posted on the subreddit of two top players, Xinhua and Skittles, teaming with enemy squads on EU servers. And the reason they do this is so they can always ensure a strong finish and keep their status as top players, so they can keep getting invited to the biggest tournaments, making money, etc. But teaming also makes it really hard for new players to break into that upper echelon of players. That's what's making people so pissed. Also, it's cheating. Others on the subreddit accused top-ranked players of DDoSing other players so they wouldn't get beat, or disconnecting during matches so they won't lose ranking points. Finally, this all caught the attention of developer Respawn Entertainment after it was written about in the games media. Respawn senior designer Chen Shang Chong wrote to one fan, "I know this is probably not the answer you're looking for right here, right now, but yes, we see the articles and the claims and will take appropriate action after doing appropriate investigations." And it looks like something did happen, because both Xinhua and Skittles had their progress reset after all that footage hit the internet. So, huge scandal, no doubt. This is hardly unique though to Apex Legends. Fortnite has had tons of controversies surrounding teaming. Last year, Fortnite Pro XSIF was disqualified from the Fortnite World Cup finals after similar accusations of teaming. And just a few months ago during the Fortnite Champion Series, Epic Games suspended a bunch of players, Creo, Buck, Keys, Slacks, for, you guessed it, teaming. So it's a big problem. There's been some research done in like sumo wrestlers, and like apparently top sumo wrestlers will sort of collude like this too. So not even just video games, but basically whenever you create a top echelon of players like this, sometimes they will cheat to kind of maintain their spots. Meanwhile, Apex Legends, it's now in season 5. Respawn says it's had the best start of any season yet. They said in a release, more new players are coming into the game, and along with returning fans, it has driven the highest player retention for a season launch. They also said players are playing for longer periods of time per day than ever before. But you know what? They're not going to stick around for long if there's no help of ever reaching the top level, because people are cheating so much. Some players say they need to revamp the system of ranking players, because as it is, only 500 can achieve the rank of Predator. That's the top rank, and many say that'll just encourage the top players to keep colluding like this to keep newcomers out. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Joy-Con drift. It's been a massive issue with the Switch, but a hacker apparently fixed it. It's over. Yes, we did it. Well, they kind of fixed it. They realized you can't have Joy-Con drift if you don't have joysticks on your Switch. Cue the guy tapping his head meme. Hacker Matteo Pisani fixed their Switch after they upgraded the electronics in it, and they also, here's where they really did something off the rails, they added the haptic touchpad from the Steam controller. Remember that one? To replace the Joy-Cons. It's not pretty, but it works. He showed off his creation in a video. He detailed exhaustively in a post on Medium how he did it. Pisani said he didn't personally experience Joy-Con drift, but he couldn't resist trying to solve the problem. He wrote, "It's 2020, and in the pandemic boredom, it's no easy job to survive from creativity suppression." That I've never had that problem. But when you realize that you own a toolbox with plenty of electronics inside, it's not so hard to see the same old things lying on the desk in a different way. So not a fix for everybody, but hey, nice job, dude. And Nintendo, fix this. Come up with a better solution. A race car driver got fired after cheating in a video game. This is where we are now. It happened to Daniel Apt, a Formula E driver. Recently, he participated in a race at home challenge, and he did pretty well. He came in third. It's one of these things that a lot of sporting bodies are doing during the pandemic. NBA players are kind of playing each other in NBA 2K, things like that. Turns out, though, Abt had hired a ringer. His car was actually being driven by Lorenz Horsing, a professional racing esports player. ESPN said that race organizers apparently caught them after they cross-referenced the IP addresses of competitors. Some of the other drivers smelled the rat too. They were like, wait a minute, this guy's a little bit too good at this game. Both the driver and the ringer were disqualified. Abt was fined €10,000. Later, his team, Audi Sport ABT Schaffler, dropped him. He got fired from his job for cheating at a video game. You didn't have to do this, dude. You could have just lost. It's just a video game. You're a race car driver. Who cares? Whatever. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie has been a big hit. Now it's getting a sequel. Of course, everything gets a sequel. Variety reports Paramount has started development on the sequel to the live-action comedy that came out in February. They are bringing back the team that made the first one. Jeff Fowler's going to direct, Pat Casey and Josh Miller writing a script. It makes sense because Sonic the Hedgehog, huge hit with the #1 opening weekend of all time for a movie based on a video game. Hell yeah, not a huge bar to clear, but they cleared it. In all, it has racked in more than $300 million. It's been the #2 movie for all of 2020. Obviously, the movie season got cut short because of the pandemic, but still, more Sonic on the way. All right, now let's talk about this weird thing that happened in the speedrunning community recently. The world record folks at Guinness went on a weird takedown spree of video games on YouTube, copyright claiming all kinds of speedrun videos. It happened after the popular speedrunner Cosmic gave an interview to Guinness regarding his record warpless run in Super Mario Bros. Now, Guinness asked for a copy of Cosmic's video to host on their own channel, but then they flagged Cosmic's video on his channel because it's the same one, and then other speedruns that look similar to Cosmic's also got claimed. It was a huge mess. Everybody was like, what the hell, Guinness? They came back later and said it was an error with automatic claims from our YouTube channel's content ID system. Yes, blame the old algorithm. They apologized, saying, we're sorry for any concern caused. We know how distressing it can be to get these notifications. They rescinded them all. I think the videos are all back up. Although some people weren't buying this apology and said Guinness did the claims intentionally and only backpedaled after they got caught. They're like, no, these are our speedrunning videos now. Big evil corporation. But anyway, hopefully it's all good now. And Guinness, you gotta watch this. Come on, that's not cool. All right, time for our 5-second review. I liked the girls better in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Just saying, something about them. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, it's Command & Conquer Remastered Collection. Now, you're probably familiar with Command & Conquer. They defined the RTS genre 25 years ago. Now, both Command & Conquer and Red Alert are fully remastered in 4K by the former Westwood Studios team members at Petroglyph Games. This collection includes all 3 expansion packs, rebuilt multiplayer, a modernized UI, map editor, a bonus gallery of unreleased FMV footage, and over 7 hours of legendary remastered music by Frank Klepacki. It comes to PC June 2nd. Next up, a big one, Valorant, the free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter from Riot Games, aka previously the studio that made only one game, League of Legends. Valorant is a team-based tactical shooter, and it's set in the near future. Players assume control of agents, who are characters who come from a variety of countries and cultures around the world. In the main game, you join either the attacking or defending team, with each team having 5 players on it. Agents have unique abilities and use an economic system to purchase abilities and weapons. It's been in beta for a while. It officially comes to PC June 2nd. Next up, it's The Outer Worlds, the single-player sci-fi RPG from Obsidian Entertainment and Private Division. It's made by, of course, some of the former Fallout crew. Lost in transit while on a colonist ship bound for the furthest edge of the galaxy, you will wait decades later than you expected, only to find yourself in the midst of a deep conspiracy threatening to destroy the Halcyon colony. As you explore the furthest reaches of space and encounter a host of factions all vying for power, who you decide to become will determine the fate of everyone. In the corporate equation for the colony, you are the unplanned variable. Of course, this has been out on other platforms, but it's coming to the Switch June 5th. Finally, it's Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classic. I love the Clubhouse Games franchise. Discover and play 51 tabletop games from around the world. They got all in one package. This diverse collection includes games from all over the world across multiple genres, from familiar favorites like chess to international hits like Mancala that have been around for hundreds of years. Enjoy familiar favorites and learn hidden gems from around the world in this collection. Whether you like to sit and strategize or rely on reflexes, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics contains a ton of games. Each one is presented with a lot of detail, like a dice clack, and marbles also glimmer, and chess pieces tumble off the board. You just can't get that in a real board game. Oh wait, yes you can. You can brush up on your skills or learn a new game through helpful in-game tutorials, assist features, and even an undo button in certain games. That will be good for real life too. Strategic players will feel right at home with games like 4 in a Row and Renegade, while those who prefer to use their reflexes can enjoy games like Slot Cars and Toy Boxing. All right, there you go. It comes to the Switch June 5th. Guys, that's all the news we've got for you this week. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. So here's some crazy news for your weekend. G2A actually admitted that it sold stolen keys and paid a developer who called their bluff. Yes, G2A paid a developer. This is huge news. Now, for years, the notorious key reseller has been accused of various shady practices, the most serious of which is that they make